Hey guys, real quick apology before the video starts. Didn't realize the heater was turned on. It's running in the background. Deal with it for a few minutes. It will kick off. I apologize for the audio quality. My audio quality sucks anyways, and having that in the background is just frustrating for both sides of this video, me and you. So please bear with it. I don't want to reshoot it. I'm not a scripted guy. I'm not a retake guy. I just shoot it and I go, man. So I apologize for that. I'll get better. I'll get better equipment. It's a good fun thing we're doing. So just a quick disclaimer, audio is going to suck for a minute. Howdy y'all. Welcome to Sam's Whiskey Bar. I'm Mr. Sam. And today, in honor of the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, I'm going to talk about a Kansas City spirit. It's actually Lenexa, but it's right on the edge of Kansas City. Lenexa is a suburb of Kansas City. They claim Kansas City even though their address is Lenexa. And I would agree, they're in Kansas City based on where their distillery is. And their distillery at Union Horse Distilling Company, this is the Reserve Straight Bourbon Whiskey. This was a store pick from my premier store. It's a small batch, single barrel, batch SB, which is my initials, bottle 22, which is my lucky number. It was also my sports number, and crafter is PG, Mr. Garcia. This is a family owned pot still, big old 500-gallon pot still. They source all their grains, they do all their milling, they do all their distilling, and they do all their aging. So it is truly a Kansas bourbon. Say what you want, it's not from Kentucky, Tennessee, whatever, but guess what? We got limestone here too, and we got clean water here too, and we got a great family in the Garcias that have been doing this for 10 years or more. I think more. A great family in the Garcias that are honoring the traditions of bourbon, this spirit that we are so proud of. It is great to see another like-minded family doing it all in-house, all in Kansas, and trying to enter into the craft whiskey world or the bourbon world in general. This is the only bottle that I have from them. I go after the higher proof stuff. Call me a proof hound, that's fine. You can always water it down. It tastes better to me at a high proof. I haven't had the 93 though. I kind of want to try the 93 version of this, as this is a store pick at 123 proof. I also have a couple behind me that are Kansas whiskeys, but not in the Kansas City area, and that is the Smoky Valley and the Behind Bars. Now, my Behind Bars has replaced my bottom shelf whiskey, my Kentucky Deluxe or Gentleman or whatever I happen to be pouring. I'm supporting that company from Atchison, Kansas, whereas Smoky Valley is just right up the road north of me in Marquette, Kansas. So I try to support the local guys, check their stuff out, see if it's any good. But this one here, I have been enjoying, but I've been struggling with it. There's something about it that I'm just like, but I haven't watered it down, haven't done anything like that. It is a good whiskey for a Kansas whiskey, I believe. In my opinion, it's a decent bourbon. Let's pop the top, see what we got. May have had a little bit of this last night while I was watching Matt Madness. All right, let's nose this sucker. I did get some ethanol on that, but I also got a little sweet, a little vanilla, a little, maybe I'm going to say caramel, because I'm from Kansas. You can call it caramel. I'm going to call it caramel. Something sharp on the nose. I am getting a vanilla. I am getting a caramel. Let's go to the palate. It's definitely a 123. I got sweet right off the bat and oak. I can feel it here. Wasn't horrible in the mouth as far as burning. There is definitely spice there. I don't know what this mash bill is, but I would bet it's corn and rye. Just guessing. I feel like I'm getting rye all the way through. There's a little vanilla on the tongue. The oak and the sweet. Mid palate are pretty strong. It's still there, guys. It's coating my mouth pretty well. I will say this. It beats the hell out of some of the Texas whiskeys I've had, so Good job, Garcia family. This dude is starting to represent Kansas the way we needed to be represented. I'm going to try your other products, and I look forward to reviewing them. There is nothing wrong with that whiskey, but it can be a little astringent for somebody who's not used to drinking a high-proof whiskey. It is definitely sharp, a little bit drying. There is oak, but there is sweet as well. If you like the higher proof whiskeys, this one's gonna burn a little bit more down here in my chest and in my stomach. I can feel it hitting my stomach right now. That dude's a little bit hot, but it was very drinkable. This is my first drink of the day. I haven't had anything, and to hit this first thing last night when I was watching Matt Madness, it was about my 5th drink of the night, and just a little bit, not a whole bunch. And I sipped on that thing in the honor of Kansas City going to the Super Bowl. I was like, dang, this is pretty good. And big shout out to my hometown hero, Mr. Roy. You know who you are. You did a good job picking on this one, guy. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do for me and the community, which is a big deal. Roy's very involved in the community. Great dude. Thank you for picking this thing out, Roy. It's pretty decent for a Kansas whiskey. I've had some bad ones. This one is not bad. This one is good. Not great, it's good. Will I buy it again? Maybe if he has another store pick. I will buy the 93 version of this and the Rise and check them out and see what they got going on, because I can tell there's rye in this thing. I don't know that for sure, but it feels like there's rye in that. I'll go back and check afterwards, obviously, after saying all this, but man, I'm going to say this dude is rye. Aged and bottled at Union Horse Distilling Company, Lenexa, Kansas. It's Kansas City, y'all. Artisanal whiskey from Union Horse Distilling Company, distilled from a sour mash recipe in our copper pot still, then aged to perfection in our signature oak barrels. From first sight to final sip, you'll be seduced by the tender note of creamy vanilla. I got the vanilla. Maple and smoke. I definitely got wood, maybe a little bit of smoke. Reserve is a subtle reminder that some things are best enjoyed slowly. Maybe I'm drinking it too fast. This was barreled in 2/9/15, bottled 11/4/19. That's almost 5 years. Almost, not quite 5 years. I'm surprised it's not longer than that. It lends to the sharpness of it because it might need a little more time in the barrel. And I know they're coming out with a 10-year. If they haven't already, I think it's coming out. It's their own stuff. It's been aged 10 years in Kansas. Man, that dude's got to be oaky aging in Kansas. I don't know what their warehouse is like, if it's climate controlled, but if it's not, this dude's going to be oaky at 10 years. 123 proof, like I said. Single barrel. It is a single barrel small batch. Well, hell yeah. Straight bourbon whiskey, man. I can't complain about it. It needs a little more time in the barrel. If you ask me, it needs a little more age to it. It has been open for a little while. I was hoping it would calm down a little bit. It hasn't. It just needs more time in the barrel, if you ask me. What do I know? I don't pretend to be a professional at this. It's just based on what I've tried and age statements and different things. Seems like this needs a little more time in the barrel. But still, a decent product, a good product. It wasn't that expensive. I want to say I gave like 40, 50 bucks for this bottle. I can look it up on my app. Oh, my app's on the phone recording me right now, so I can't really look it up on the app. I don't have a big special setup, guys. My phone is connected right in front of me onto my car mount from my truck that I put on a aluminum ladder that I painted the house with, and my dad's painted his house with. This ladder's older than I am, and that's what I've got set up as a video recording, and I've mounted a light to the top of it. Man, you talk about some redneck ingenuity. That's what you're going to get with Mr. Sam, is a little redneck ingenuity, because I'm not about going out and spending a bunch of money on this, that, and the other to get the fancy stuff. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me if it's fancy. It matters to me if it works. Like this bar that I built and everything you see behind me, besides the liquor, obviously, this thing cost me $10 to build. It's reclaimed stuff. I don't have but a couple screws in it down there. The only reason it's 10 bucks is because I used F26, so if I have to, I can move this sucker. Anyways, enough about me being a redneck. Go try yourself some Union Horse Reserve, any Union Horse product. Let me know what you think about it, and go Chiefs. Beat the Eagles.